In computing and optical disc recording technologies, an optical disc is a flat, usually circular disc that encodes binary data in the form of bits and lands on a special material, often aluminum, on one of its flat surfaces. Its main use are physical offline data distribution and long-term archivals. What is an external disk drive? An external disk DVD drive is a computer component that allows you to read data from the burned data onto CDs, DVDs, and Blu-ray disc. In computing, the pre-boot execution environment (PXE) specification describes a standardized client-service environment that boots a software assembly retrieved from a network on PXE-enabled clients. Referred to as fixed disk drive, fixed media, or fixed storage. A fixed disk is a term used to describe a hard drive inside the computer. An internal hard drive is the primary storage device located inside a computer system. It usually contains pre-installed software applications, the operating systems, and other files. Most desktop computers have several internal hard drives, allowing them to provide greater data storage. An unattended installation is the traditional method of deploying a Windows operating system. Unattended installation use a answer file named unattended XML, which contains user input to various GUI dialog boxes that appear during the installation process. So what is a in-place upgrade? More information. An in-place upgrade is the final alternative before you have to reinstall the operating system. It takes the same amount of time to do the upgrade as to reinstall the operating system. Also, some of your customized Windows settings may be lost through this process. In a clean install of an OS, the hard disk is formatted and completely erased. In a clean install of an application, the older version is uninstalled first. Installing an OS on a new computer or installing an application for the first time is automatically a clean install. Contrast with in-place upgrade. A repair install installs Windows over the existing installation of Windows 10 on your hard disk using your installation DVD or installation media files. Performing this can repair broken system files and simultaneously preserving files, applications, and etc. Multibooting is the act of installing multiple operating systems on a single computer and being able to choose which one to boot. The term dual booting refers to the common configuration of specifically two operating systems. Remote Installation Services is a Microsoft supplied server that allows PXE BIOS-enabled computers to remotely execute boot environment variables. These variables are likely computers that are on company's network. Image deployment involves customizing the operating system, applications, drivers, and settings on a single computer and creating an image of it, then automatically deploying this image to other computers. Refresh your PC to reinstall Windows and keep your personal files and settings. Refresh also keeps the app that came with your PC and the apps you installed from Windows stores. The term recovery disk, rescue disk, and emergency disk all refer to compatible to boot from an external device, possibly a thumb drive, that includes a self-running operating system. The GUID partition table (GPT) is a standard for the layout of partitions tables of a physical computer storage device, such as a hard disk drive or solid-state drive, using universally unique identifiers, which are also known as globally unique identifiers (GUIDs). ExFAT is a file system introduced by Windows in 2006 and optimized for flash memory such as USB flash drive and SD cards. FAT32 is a file system used for storage devices, and file systems are a way of organizing storages on devices such as hard disk drive, SSDs, memory sticks, micro SD cards, and so on. NT file systems, NTFS, which is also sometimes called a new technology file system, is a process that the Windows NT operating systems use for storing, organizing, and finding files on a hard disk efficiently. CDFS is a file system for optical disc media, being sold by the International Organization for Standardization. The file system is considered an international technical standard. Since the specification is available for anybody to purchase, implementations have been written for many operating systems. Network File System is distributed file system protocol originally developed by Sun Microsystems in 1984, allowing a user on a client computer to access files over a computer network, much like logical storage in Access. ext3 or Third Extended File System is a generalized file system that is commonly used by Linux kernel. It is used to be default file system for many popular Linux distributions. HFS is one of the primary file systems of Mac operating systems. If you work on Windows computers and need to read or write files from HDD, SSD, or flash drive formatted under Mac OS, you need HFS for Windows by Partition software. One is the swap partition, a dedicated section or partition on the drive. The second is swap files that reside among systems and data files and is easy to resize. With a swap file, a separated partition is not required. Quick formats take a few seconds, whereas a normal format procedures can take several hours. When you choose to run a regular format on a volume, files are removed from the volume that you are formatting and the hard disk is scanned for bad sectors. While a domain allows network admins to use servers to control all their assets that exist within the domain, a workgroup uses a LAN to communicate. And within a workgroup, no signal machines or computers will have control over any other. Instead, they just share resources. Installing a driver only makes the hardware installed in the computer function properly. If the correct driver is not installed, installing the latest driver for the hardware can take full advantage of the device. Most new computers with a pre-installed operating system ships with a so-called factory recovery option. This allows users to completely reset the computer by restoring an image stored on a specific factory recovery partition. Application Compatibility Toolkit ACT is a set of freely downloadable program utilities and related documents from Microsoft for ensuring compatibility among application programs in Windows operating systems. Navigation is a field of study that focuses on the process of monitoring and controlling the movement of a crash or vehicle from one place to another. The field of navigation includes four general categories: land navigation, marine navigation, aeronautic navigation, and space navigation. DIR is often used as abbreviation for the word directory. DIR is built in the Windows and MS-DOS command line that lists the content of a directory. What is a CD used for in a computer? As we mentioned above, compact disks store data to be retrieved or exceeded at a later date. CDs can store software programs to install onto your computer. They save files for backup or transfer for another computer and hold music to play in a CD player. Ipconfig is a console application program of some computer's operating system that display all current TCP/IP network configuration values and refreshes dynamic host configuration protocol and domain name system settings. Ping is the primary TCP/IP command used to troubleshoot connectivity and the name resolution. Used without parameters, this command displays help content. You can also use this command to test both the computer name and the IP address of the computers.